everybody, how's things? Here we are again, Friday afternoon, and I know some of you may be heading off to the NEC this weekend to have a look at what's going on down there. John and I are going to head down there tomorrow morning for a little bit, so yeah, it's all going this weekend, and let's just take a moment out, I reckon, just to sort of breathe and have a bit of me time. And I've got a tile ready, so what have I done? I've got white tile, and I've inked it a little bit around the edge with a little bit of purple, and I've got a little bit of yellow here, so I'm focusing more just on kind of one side rather than the other. But hopefully, we'll see how it goes. You can use a plain tile if you want, it really doesn't matter. And yeah, let's make a start then. Okay, I'm going to come in with my regular pencil, and I'm going to sort of start on this bit where I've got the ink in it. I say it doesn't matter if you haven't got any ink in there, it's fine. I'm going to put myself like a little double line there, okay? Just going to sort of sketch it in. And I'm going to sort of keep switching between pen and pencil for this one. So sort of kind of watch closely. And if you're happier doing it all in pencil first, then that's absolutely fine. So at the bottom of this here, I'm going to come in with my 03. And I'm going to put myself a little like kind of a leafy shape there, like that. I'm going to make it a little bit longer there. All right, keep it vertical-ish. I'm going to put like a little diamond on the bottom. And then either side, let's come in from this point here. I'm going to come out and round back to that point. And the same on this side, out and around back to the point. And then another, around and out and around. And then whilst I've got that kind of idea, I'm going to come here, just doing a little bit in the back. It's just going to there, see? Depending on what you've got going on, you might get another one in there. Okay, so far so good. So before I draw this in with pen, I'm going to put myself a little bubble around, but you see I'm just going from one side to the other. And then I'm going to put a little curve at the bottom there. See if I can get another one in, like a little there and then there. And then I can draw that in. So we see we've got a couple of little beads going on there. All right, let's have a little look at that so you can see it in, there you are, kind of situ, so to speak. So I'm going to bring another one in. I'm going to come down here again, keeping it kind of vertical, best I can anyway when I'm hand drawing. And down there, let's go a little bit longer. All right, and then I can swap with pen again and create that little shape at the bottom. Remember, then we extended it a little bit, and I'm going to put that little hanger diamond on the bottom there. Okay. So as before then, let's go from the top. There's one that side, one this side, and let's do that again, there. Now if it goes off your piece, that's fine. You see mine's going off, it doesn't matter. We still know what's happening there, so that's okay. So then, working it into this bit, I'm going to come in with one, and one a bit there, and there. So it sort of goes around that sort of shape there. And then as before, I'm going to put some of these little beads in. So let's go a little bit bigger for that. So along like this, and then in. There's a little one there. And then I can draw that shape in, like that. Same in this one. So they're kind of hanging. All right, okay. So I'm going to do something similar. I kind of want it to sort of end up here, so I'm going to come back in with my pencil and let's put another vertical in. Okay, so it's a little bit lower than the others, but I'm still on this left side of the piece. Having said that, you could do this on the right. We're going to do something different here, but we'll see how this goes, okay? So back in with pen. And then one side and then the other, forming that little shape. And then if you can at the bottom, just like diamond shape going on there. And then I might as well do sort of one side then the other, because we know what we're doing now. There's my 2, look, 1, 2. You see, then the others go around the back. And the same here, there, and that one, and around the back. And then I'm not going to put many of these in, see, curve, and I'm going to put one down here, and then I'm going to put that in. Okay, so it gives me my sort of hanging shapes there for starters. So back to pencil for a moment, and I want to bring out some kind of little leaf shapes, but I'm going to go from here and put like a line there. Look, let's have one. So there, it's going behind, but that's okay. I'm still going to draw them in so I can sort of see where they're all going. Let's just have one there, like so. Okay, and then here I'm going to put in, again, I'm drawing it with pencil, kind of the regular leaf shapes. We do these a lot. I'm still putting that one in because look, you're still going to see a little bit of it. One there, one there. I want to try and keep it on the piece if I can. And there, look. I think maybe one there as well. Okay. So let's have a look a bit closer. So I've got my shape, I'm going to put my line in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and put like a little loop there. You see that? Let's do that again. So even if I do it that way, look, a little loop. Same this side, look, loop and loop. Okay. So then why bring this line in? I'm going to go underneath that one, look, and then instead of following the whole shape, I'm going to sort of follow this little design here. Okay. So you could do that either way around. It could be that way or that way, but I like the idea of having something a bit different. So let's try that again. See, I've got one here, I've got a full bit. So a loop and a loop. You see at the sides? Same here and there. So then if I draw in, let's sort of give that a line and then follow the shape round. It gives me something a little bit different. Okay, so this time, see, I've got a loop there, but I'm not going to see that one. But I know it's there, and I can rub that out afterwards. So there, I've got a little bit of one. So I'm going to put all my kind of loops in. And there, look, all in pencil. This one, you're just going to sort of see that one there, I think, and then on the side, and then I can draw in the bits that I can still see. Gives me that kind of everything's going front and behind and all that kind of thing. So here we go. Let's just do that one there. Of course, I've got that line coming in. That one, so up and around, see? Again, now this is a bit unusual, but sometimes it's nice to bring something different to the table. So having leaves, but then making a little bit of a change. Let's get rid of those lines we don't need now. Just make sure, of course, that your pen's nice and dry. You don't want to be going over and rubbing anything out and leaving marks if you can help it. All right. So you see now I've got my leaves going kind of underneath. I've gone a little bit heavy with that one, but that's okay. Oh, missed a bit there. All right, that kind of thing. So I'm going to come back to pencil for a minute. So now I've got rid of all that bit. And what I want to do is I want to put myself a little bit of a wavy line. And I say wavy, kind of, it's more perhaps wobbly. Sometimes these, you know, work really well, don't they? Let's sort of go, if you haven't got a straight edge or a straight hand, or you know, it's fine. Okay, so again, I'm going to just rub out the bits that I don't need. So there, look. There, and I can see now quite clearly where that line is. So I'm going to come in and put that in with pen. Same with this one. Wander it down that way, like so. Okay, like that. I'm going to put some bubbles in and around here, just at these top edges, you know. So got a bit of something going on up there. Not have to be the same size, they can all change a little bit. Try not to sort of repeat what you've got and then one next to it. You just want to, so just sort of move them down a bit. They're great actually with a little bit of a shiny gel pen and things, because you can filter it down a little bit. All right, so let's have a look at this side then. And for this, I'm just going to bring my more straight edge in, because I want to put myself a little bit of a box shape in. So let's have a look at this. Now, if you're not sure, you want to straighten it up. If you line up the edge of your ruler with the edge of your paper. Now remember, I'm looking through a camera here, so I'm trying to sort of gauge it as best I can. You're usually going to get a nice straight edge, okay? But I think for the purposes of this, I'm going to go in with, not a guess, but I'm visually looking at this sort of the distance. You can measure it, but, you know, who's got time for measuring in life? So let's have a look at this. I'm going to start with this line, sort of give myself a bit of an idea where the middle is. And then I'm going to do, let's have a look. Shall I do 3? Or shall I do 2? I think possibly, let's go 2. So I've got to see if split that up into 2. I've split that up into 2 as well. So imagining that this is going behind here, looking at the size of this shape, I'm going to see 1, 2 and a bit. Okay, so let's just put that kind of down there as well. So I've kind of give myself a bit of a grid going on here, and nice and lightly I'm going to draw that in. I'm going to go over everything because it's all drawn in pen, and I can rub it out afterwards. It just makes life a bit easier when you're trying to do something in the grid here. Okay, so I've got a bit of a shape going on there. See, that looks a little bit bigger than all the others. So let's bring it in a little bit. And I can remove that line. Look, it doesn't have to be a set size, as long as they're all kind of similar looking. That works just fine for me. Okay, notice I've done it with pencil, so I'm not going to keep all the lines when I've finished. So let's have a little look at this shape now. I'm going to do it at a diagonal line like this, and I'm going to put myself, okay, ready? A little bit of a curve in there, and then another curve like that. Let's put myself a line inside, okay? And that's sort of, when I say repeat that, see, I'm not going to go into there because I know where the point is, but I'm imagining, because this is going to sit behind, and then another line in there. So this time, see, it's going to here, and if you think, oh, I can't really figure out how to draw that, do it in pencil, and come back in with pen, and draw in the bit you can see. Okay? So, I'm going to do that again, in each of these boxes. Putting that line in, look, so I've got 1, 2, and 3. Here I'm going to see a little bit of it, so I can put that in. Next one. So I'm doing the outside 2 first, and then coming in and doing that middle one. Same again. Oh, they're going to be a little bit different, we know that, but that's okay. We sort of kind of go with the flow. All right, so far. Let's do some. Now, if you wanted to, you could do this in a different colour. Maybe bring one of your fountain pens out and do it in shimmering or something. See this one, look, because you've got to start here, I've got that leaf in the way. I can come in and draw it in. And then just pen in the bit that I need. It just makes life easier, doesn't it? Why do we want to make life hard for ourselves? See, get rid of that then. Don't need it. Let's have a little look at this. Okay. So I'm going to come in with, have a look. Have I got a bigger pen? I'm going in with my 3 then. And I'm going to fill in this side of that piece. There, like that. Okay. It's amazing, isn't it? You think how many pens I've got, and then I've sat down with one. I've got 2 pens, but they're both 03s. A brush pen would be nice at this point as well. So remember when Leslie used to be here and she'd like just whiz in from the other room, and suddenly I'd have what I need in my hand. Hi Leslie, if you're on. She did think she was Mr. Tile yesterday, actually. She was getting mixed up with the days. Saying nothing. All right. Well, that's fine. I can fill these bits in as I'm going to this one. So I think the easiest way of doing it is this kind of short little movements, you know, with your pen, just sort of filling little bits as you go. And keeping your pen going. See, try not to cover too much in one go. And if you kind of cross it over as you're going, it gives you a better, or neater finish if you haven't got a thicker pen to hand. But that's okay. So round we go to those bits. Right. Just kind of working our way around. Just sort of filling it in as we go. Again, if you're using a fountain pen, you could fill this in with that shimmer ink and it'll give you a nice sort of shiny finish in there. I'm sticking with my black today. Okay. Next bit then. I'm going to turn it this way. Let's just go in a little bit. That way. Sometimes your fingers touch the screen, don't they? But they don't move. Nothing moves. I just think, I mean, my finger's a bit cold. There you go. Okay, let's have a look at this then. So let's start with this sort of section here. See, I've got these 2 little bits. So I'm going to come in here, look, and I'm going to put a loop that way and a loop that way. And then I'm going to aim for getting another one in each one of those. So sort of following the space that I've got there. All right. So let's find another one of those patterns. See, like we've got one here. So again, if I put that one in, and then one that side, so I'm filling the whole of that corner in, and that one. So I've got another one here. So again, loop that way, and then fill in the sections around it. All right, let's find another one. So I know here's part 1, but I'm going to fill in the ones I can see first, I reckon, or shall I? It's kind of sort of fitting in. Let's do this one. There. Like that. Now, of course, if you did your grid smaller, you've got to draw these a little bit smaller as you're getting them in, haven't you? Okay. So this one, look. Again, if you would rather use pencil first, so you know you're getting everything in the place you want it to be, please feel free, that's fine. Okay, so see what's happening here. Look, if we look down, we've got loops going, the point starts there, then the point, so then the point, then the point. So that's going to help you to sort of work out on these other bits where these are going to go. So see the point, 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 point. So I'm going to start there and do that one. So they're kind of going opposites each time. So look, point, 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 point. So that one's going to go to that one. Okay, so this one, look, goes that way. I think you've got the idea now. So this one, the point's there, so I'm going to start it there. Into that one. So what happened here? Let's have a look. So we've got points meeting, so that's going to go that way. A little bit of a focus point for this afternoon, isn't it? Something you've got to really figure out. So that's going to go there. Yeah. And this one's going to sit there. Again, if you've got to put little crosses and mark your points first, you do that, that's fine. To there, look. So that one is going to be here. I have to give you a challenge now and again, just to sort of keep you on the ball, don't you think? All right. So I've got a bit of a grid forming here. How dare I put a grid in? All right, I've got a bit of one there. Look, sneaked it in there past you all. Yeah. Okay, so there's a bit of something going on here, but I'm not going to sort of even consider that too small, and we're going to sort of have that little bit of shadow going anyway. And I think to sort of kind of finish, if you've got any little gaps, we might as well come in and add little bubbles just as we go. So your decision whether you want to fill any gaps in with ink or you want to sort of leave them with just the bubbles there. So we've already got some ink in there, so you might not want to. You might want to add a bit of colour. I'm going to see how that works for us. Okay. So we're sort of working our way around. See how that sort of sits in each bit as we go. It's quite quick to do actually, because we're so used to doing bubbles. Nobody does perfect circles. They're not going to be round. They're really kind of round. See, it just sort of breaks up that space there. Okay, let's have a little look at that. So we've got a little bit of two halves going on. So I'm going to put my pen away for a minute now. Got a little bit of pencil there. Now, I'm going to be careful around this because there's a lot of ink going on in there. So I'm just taking away the pencil lines that I don't need around the edge. Okay, so I'm going to bring, let's have a look, a bit of colour in first. So let's have a look at these leaves. I'm going to bring a bit of my sunny green in and cover the whole of the leaf. Just kind of as a first layer. This makes it easy to see them all. So you've got a little bit there sticking out. Oh, now that one, look, hang on a second. Needs to have a line in there. So, along we go. And into that bit there. And that one there. Okay. So I want something a little bit darker than that one, of course. So, decisions to make. I've got a couple to choose from. Well, I'm going to go with my deep green. I'm going to add a little bit of that in these. Sort of in the middle area. See, just like a little bit along those sort of veins. Just like a bit of a cross-hatching kind of feel. A bit in there. And into that one. Okay. And I could bring my little brighter green back in. Kind of work it in. Now there is another green that you can mix in between the two if you want to. We have got the grass green colour, so that will help blend it in a little bit more. So we could use that one first, look. It's working that darker green in. Again, I'm not spending a massive amount of time on it. They're only small, so it's not like we're doing a huge masterpiece. So what have we been working on this week then? I see a lot of you have been using your unusual mandalas. They're looking great. And your coffee pot lane's getting there. We've been absolutely inundated with orders. Thank you so much, everybody. So we're almost there with them. If not the final today, there's going to be a few on Monday, but they're all going to go out. And of course, I know that Alice and Sarah have been talking to Macy. Macy thinks she's in charge of the website now. I don't know what's going on there. So she's put some free P&P on for you this weekend. I know, it's all going on. It's happening. All right. I'm going to bring in a little bit of light orange. I'm going to kind of just sort of go over these lightly. All right. It's kind of my starting point. I might as well sort of put a bit on those beads as well. Yeah. And maybe a little bit on some of those bigger bubbles. And a bit of light red. So here it doesn't actually have anything to help you with your shading there. So I'm going to put myself a shape in. Let's go in a little bit, you see? Now if you want to do it on the other side, that's fine. But you notice that one side's a bit longer than the others. And that's the important bit. Okay? A little bit in there, look. Like so. A little bit on there, some of those little beads. And then in here, because you've got the lines to help you, I'm going to put some in there, see? The bottoms of those and around the top of there. Not quite sure what these flowers are. I just quite like drawing them. I've done them in various sort of shapes and sizes, and sometimes we don't do this. We put like a centerpiece on the top. So I think I did that in like the Spanish fans and things like that. So it's always, what have I got now? Clementine. Let's bring a bit of clementine in. See, I'm sort of swirling it. Little bits up there. I'm trying not to fill the whole thing, but sort of follow it through. See, sort of swirls. Just means it comes through, then it's a little bit kind of rough. It's not got a straight edge, but it's going to make life easier when you blend it. Okay, same with this one. Just sort of we go with those. You see? Okay, so if I bring a bit of light orange back, just kind of, oh, Rhiannon teeth, oh, I hope you're not in too much pain. Okay. So see, I'm kind of pressing on a little bit more. I'm going over the whole sort of thing. Okay. See how that sort of works in there? There you go. So, sort of that done. Got a little bit in there. Now I know sometimes we do sometimes leave it a little bit sort of so it's not completely blended. But I think in this instance, it's nice if I come back with a bit of that orange. And just work it in a little bit more. You just take a little bit of time sometimes and it'll change it up a little bit for you. Still doesn't have to be seriously like hours and hours. But, it's about giving it a little bit of colour there, isn't it? I'm going to go back to my red. And put that back in. You see, it's just sort of starts to give it a bit more of a sheen now, so sort of works its way into those little bits. Oh, wow. In and along. See how that sort of just works in. You kind of, as you work your way around, rather than pressing on, if you work back and forth between the colours, you'll find that the white of the paper or whatever colour you're working on will sort of gradually disappear into those colours. There you go, see? So that's got a little bit more going in there, sort of filling it off. Not worried too much about the beads, they're kind of secondary-ish. See, little bits in there. And of course, let's have a look at my white. Let's bring a little bit of white just on that edge there. You don't always see it, but it does make a difference. And I'm going to bring in a little bit of mahogany, just to those bottom edges. Just sort of bring out that bit of shade there. See a little bit in there, put that line back in. And see into those. So just at those bottom edges. It's easier to bring those darks in afterwards when you've got something to work with, rather than try and do it on its own to go with. There you go, see? Add a little bit on those edges. All right. So regular pencil, just move my colours out of the way. And I'm going to come down, if you can, depends how thick you've done these. If they're not very thick, do it one side. Otherwise, if you can get it into two, get it into sort of both like that. Depends, as I say, on how you've done yours. All right, Tortillon. Kind of just soften out those edges a little bit. Doesn't need much. There you go. All right. So, okay. Let's have a look at that. There we go. Right, back to pencil. So you see when we did that wavy line, I'm going to come in and I'm going to add pencil all along that wavy line. I'm not going to press on too hard, but you see I'm not going to be too neat with it. So completely along it, see? Down, all the way down to the bottom. Let's go a little bit more. We can afford to do that, it's fine. All right. I'm going to go a little bit heavier down there. And then see my loops? I'm going to add a little bit to the bottom of those loops. See how that just sort of sits in there. So I'm not doing each one individually. It's kind of a little zigzag bit going on there. To those. All right, a little bit under there. Before I do this bit, I'm going to do the little loops. You see, just sort of soften them out. I'm just pushing them into those little loops a little bit, but I'm not trying to completely cover them all. I'm just giving it a little hint of something that's there, a bit of shadow. All right. Okay, so when you've got underneath these leaves, don't, just a little bit of a shunter, that's fine. All right. Okay, let's come around. To start with, I'm going to do the whole thing look as a swirl. See, I really want to get that darkness in there, like that. And then you can ease off the torch on a little bit. You can do another swirl. Let's see, it's a little bit lighter this time. As I work my way down. And sort of hold on into that a little bit, then even lighter. So now I'm going back and forth, sort of softening off that pencil. I notice that I've not gone into this bit here, I've only done it on these sections. Yeah, because that's where you're going to see the most. Oh, it is Vicky today, yeah. You've got grids and the organic. Right, I've got my black pencil. And I'm going to come down that wavy line. You see, with a bit of darkness. Just kind of follow it along. Work your way down. Yeah, that's what we want. My white pencil. This is my regular white out of my tin. I'm going to add some white along the other edge. You see, so it's lightening it up there a bit. Depends on what colour tile you see. You might not see it, but I know it's there. See, it's just helping it. And then I'm going to bring in that light red again. You see, I've got these bubbles. Where you've got bubbles that are a little bit bigger than others, put a little bit of red in there. Yeah, we want it to sort of tie in a little bit, give it a little hint that there's colour in there. See, that's going. Oh, Tommy's got a cup of tea coming in. Woohoo! Thank you, Tommy. Yeah, bit of clement. Oh, not pink. What am I doing with pink? Bit of clementine. That's what I was aiming for. It's the sight of that cup of tea. That's what it was. Thank you.
Okay.
A bit in there. And a bit of that orange. But yeah, well, there's loads of things you could do with this, isn't it? You could actually do it with anything. So if you, I don't know, if you've got, say for example, the Christmas stags. You could have the stag here, and then you could have this in the background. Or you could have this and then a sentiment there. Loads of different ways. Let's have a look at that. Okay. So I'm just going to bring my black back in. If I can find it. There we go. All right. And just at the bottom of those little loop shapes, I'm just going to add a touch of black. Don't overdo this because we don't want it to sort of take over. But I just want it to be a little bit darker there. Okay, you see? Just a little bit. Just want a little bit of shade in there. Okay. I think just to finish it off, I'm going to come back in with my regular. Now I'm going to go with just two sides on this. So I'm going to come along here. Now you see, this is why we didn't draw in those lines, because it's got a little bit of a shape to it. And then a little bit here. And then let's work that round. Now see, look, I'm keeping it quite close and I'm swirling it again. Let's do this one. Get close and I'm swirling it. Alright. So what it's actually doing is it's taking on the shape of the line that's there. Although there isn't really a line, I've just kind of followed the design down. You see? It's working my way back up. Now what I don't want to do is, I don't want to soften that out any. So I just want to keep it tight there. You see, I've got a couple of little lines I don't want to pop it out there. There it is. So we've just got that definite line. Again, black pencil. Just going to gently go down that edge, sort of following that line, see? And the same on this one, just sort of follow it along. And in we go. Okay, so hopefully we've got something. I'm just going to go back down this one, just in the middle there. Something that looks a little bit dimensional. We've got something sort of coming out. This would make a nice little pocket, wouldn't it? There's no Leslie and I were doing a little bit of journaling last night, so putting that on something would look really nice. And then of course your shading will come from the actual pocket. Okay, all right, last thing to do, bit of a signature. So here we are. There it is. And there's Friday's tile, all done and sorted. So, okay, weekend then. If you're going to the NEC, put your badge on and say hello if you spot me tomorrow morning. I'll be walking around with John, who's usually miserable when he walks around craft places. But he'll be fine. And then, of course, at some point, I have got to do March's diary tile. I will get round to that, I promise. I know some of you have got there and done it before me. That's absolutely fine. I'm more than happy for you to put your own little ideas on. And then I'll choose one at the end of the month for a little prize. But, oh, Sue, well, I'll see you there, Sue. Okay. So, yeah, have fun with this one. Play with it. Try a few different things. I think, actually, you know, looking at it, if I just bring my pencil in, because this is over the top, look, we can also put a bit of black pencil there, you see? That looks like it's sort of a bit more shaded there, bit of a dimension. So, okay, have a good one, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, whatever it is you're doing. And I'll see you back here for Tuesday. Good Tuesday, yes. Busy week next week because it's Tuesday. We've got a tile. Thursday, is it Thursday? Yeah, I'm on the craft store. Saturday and Sunday is classes. And then the following week, I'm back on the craft store. And I think the week after that, I'm back on Hobby Maker. That's the end of the month. And then exciting news for April is, those of you that love to watch Crafters TV, I'm going to go up and visit my friends over there as well. So that should be fun. And of course, gosh, not forgetting that Macy has given you free postage over this weekend, because of course, if you were at the NEC and I was there with a stand, you wouldn't be paying postage. So I thought it would be, you know, quite nice about that. So she's agreed, without me, to put free postage on. So have fun, everybody. And yeah, busy. Let me know what you're up to, and I'll see you soon. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.